And we're back in game, ready to go. And looks like everyone's moving out. So now you should be watching in real time, right, Tralf?
I'm good to go. Yes, I am.
Excellent. All right. Want to make sure everything went as planned. And we'll see how the lanes are going to end up taking shape. So now that you can actually see it with your own two eyes, and I know how hard it is to actually process stuff like that, like, you know, whenever you're trying to visualize it, or in your case, when you were behind. Tell me what you think of the draft.
Well, I do like the Storm Spirit. And like I said, rune contention is going to be very, very strong on the side of LV. And we see teams contesting runes a lot more since the addition of the bounty rune. So, again, it's hard to say just right off a whim.
30 seconds to battle.
I actually favor LGD's lineup just a little bit more. I think
Yep.
they're comfortable with the Morphling. I think they play it well last time, I would say. So he's kind of he's like used to that from last time. I think the Jakiro was super duper strong, and Doom obviously is fantastic in the late game. But that's not to say LV doesn't have their strengths too. Like, I think Storm can just totally trump a fight and trump around the like I said, the runes. It's going to be a very, very good point of contention here for LV Gaming.
Oh yeah, looks like LGD looking to run aggressive. The haste rune is going to be spotted. We'll see who they end up giving it to. It's a bounty at top, picked up by Lin, who actually went ahead and took battery assault and used it. Didn't see, did he do any damage here? Yeah, he actually banged the Doom down pretty hard. I was watching bottom as it looked like they were about to have a three-man tango there, as there's definitely a lot of aggressive posturing. But let's talk mid. Sylar on the Morphling versus the Storm Spirit. What do you think of the matchup?
I think Storm Spirit definitely has the ability to kill the Morphling. Like, definitely. If he maxes up his Overload as well, like Sylar... See, actually, Sylar's already taken his Morph Agility gain, so he's taking extra damage, especially if he gets hit by the nukes. So I think Storm Spirit's actually going to just have a way with Sylar mid, unless he gets some help, which he could.
Lin is actually bullying in July around terribly at top. Like, is seriously running him off the wave and not letting him get into last hit or deny range. Like, every time he comes forward, he manages to zone him back out. Speaking of zoning, DDC going to be on the unfortunate receiving end of that Liquid Fire from Faith. And Liquid Fire especially gets a very squishy early support like a Skywrath, man. It hurts and it burns and you run out of regen so quickly.
Yep, still watching this mid matchup. Got to pull up my last hits and denies, but yeah, I imagine once he gets more levels, and he's saving his third point right now. There, overcharge. Or overload, I should say. This is the right build, and he should be maxing that. Just spamming him with those charges every single time he pops that Static Remnant. Some action actually from Sylar, as he does have his bottle on the way now, so that's good for him. And Flame, he needs another 300 gold for that, but Sylar went for a much more fast bottle build. He actually didn't go for a Wraith Band. This is a little atypical. You don't see this normally in a Morphling in mid.
Talking this bottom lane, as of right now, it's definitely going the way of LGD. 8 CS for this Ember Spirit. ZYF only sitting on 2 right now, and they're just doing so much work using the Liquid Fire. It's making it very hard for DDC or for demons to show their face. It's going to be a regen rune that spawns bottom, a bounty that spawns top. No one really making their way towards it now, and it does tend to be a lot more quiet around the runes whenever you do have an aggressive tri-lane like this. It's actually kind of risky for demons to be leaving the lane at all. At the top, looks like they will, yeah, in July, getting a lot of damage from the battery assault. He's got cogs, and he actually didn't use them. Might have benefited him to do so, but I guess it would have been a little bit more risky. In the meantime, Demons is going to begin to roam, and he's going to make his way towards mid at the very least. Sylar is taking a lot of damage, as you said, coming out from the overload, and there's Inflame's bottle.
Yep, good for him. And this is actually going to be a rotation all the way around mid. This should be obvious, though. Like, it should be very obvious when Safeling support is missing. And he's actually going to go towards top. So July went through all of his regen, actually, and if this could be a very easy kill. Let me check the support on the side of LG if they have TP responses. They do not. Nobody does. So this could be a very easy kill if he connects with the stun. Actually, it's the Ignite. Never mind.
I still think he can get him. Lin's going to be able to play this ultra aggressive, and yep, there you go. Ignite on in July. No, there is a response coming.
Just bought it.
And yep, that's going to be the cogs that go down, and there's going to be the cask. Only one bounce in July. Doesn't. Oh, he just got, no, a little too late. He just got Scorched Earth just as he died. Just had mana for it. And now MMY trying to do anything he can to pay it back. Not going to be reality. And that's a very nice first blood for LV Gaming off of a very aware up. Hang on, Sylar on Inflame here, and Inflame's trying to go toe-to-toe with him. He's going to do something, yeah. He's going to go ahead and Vortex him, morphing the strength, and Sylar gets the kill. That is something you can't allow to happen to a Morphling. That is a big, big boon for him. Huge.
Really big. Nicely played by Siler. It's quite close, but he had some nice strength gain there too, so yeah, very nice. And actually, if you saw the way that Lin was moving up there in the top lane, like he was trying to constantly position himself so that all the battery assault would be hitting one isolated unit in the Doom. And he got that. And then he actually was able to use the tower trick to change the aggro at the last second, was able to live as a result, so very nicely played by him. He bottles up an Invis rune, which could pose to be a pretty big threat. He's maxing the battery assault as well, which is even better, the fact that he has this Invis rune bottled up.
This would seem, I mean, it's so hard to go on a Morphling with a bottle. Like, Morphling's obviously the primary target on the map if he could gank anyone, but being able to waveform out of the cogs is a big problem. And right now, MMY has stayed up here. This has freed up this bottom lane a little bit, so we're seeing some catch-up from ZYF, but he's still 10 CS behind Yao, who's off to quite a good start. In fact, quite a good start is an understatement. He's actually the most farmed in terms of CS on the whole map, and he went aggressive, so making this bottom lane work for him quite well. MMY getting a pull on, and we'll see how the Clockwork wants to respond, but Inflame now has to play a little bit of catch-up. He's coming up on level 6, but yeah, he's basically a full level behind the Morphling now.
Action on to Yao. They're very slow, though, and I don't think they can pursue this. No, they can't. Yeah, you know what's funny is that nerf in the concussive shot, I saw that, I instinctively thought, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I feel like it's just not nearly as good as it used to be. The 10% really made a difference.
I agree with you. And there's actually a TP. Yeah, it's going to be to mid, as Lin TP'd out with his Invis. They're going to try this. And, oh, he just waveformed. Now's the time. They got to go. There's the Vortex. Lin right on top of him. Cogs go down. There's going to be a cast that's going to get a lot of good bounces. And Siler trying to turn it around. Inflame jumps to the other side. Trying to morph strength. They're going to get him nonetheless. And Lin even chasing to the high ground. Actually uses hook. He's level 6.5. MMY trying to heal through it. Can they catch him? If they chase him deep, they might be able to get him. There's going to be the jump. And Inflame from behind. Cogs go down. Knock him out. One more auto attack. And Inflame can't quite get to him. There's going to be finally the rocket flare. It's the cherry on the sundae. And that's a 2-for-1 as they actually lost their Skywrath mage amidst all of that. However, bringing down the Morphling and the Storm being a part of all of it, huge, huge catch up for him.
Yeah, and give me a second. My perfect roll turret is going. Oh my god, the Morphling. He waveformed, and his waveform just went all the way to the base for me. So I'm actually
really?
Yeah, he stood there, but his animation of his water, whatever, just kept going forever. So I'm gonna go ahead and reconnect real fast.
No problem. Always a challenge broadcasting on servers on the other side of the planet. Nonetheless, it's 3-2, and LV's in good shape. Let's take a look at 7 minutes in, just what this translates to. It was LGD's lead to about the tune of 1,000 gold. The experience was close to even anyway, but yeah, they cut down fairly significantly there. Would have been better if DDC hadn't died. But overall, they're beginning to bounce back. Slark's actually caught up very admirably. 24 CS now, that puts him in range of Siler and of Yao. Like that, the fact that he was shut down as bad as he was early, and now he's caught up to this point is excellent. There's going to be the Arc Boots up on the Doom. And there's going to be a hook. They got Siler again. He has waveform, though. They're trying to drain his mana. It's not going to matter. They have him silenced. Vortex, do they have the damage through the more strength? They do. They managed to bring him down. Another excellent kill on the Siler. And this is just, again, another example of what LV does. You see a Morphling, you go, we have a Clockwork. You go, well, you can't kill him. He'll just waveform out. Well, we have a Skywrath. It's fine. They just chained the silence and the Vortex and everything together so well. 2 points in the Ancient Seal. That's only a 4-second silence, but they're making it work. And now Siler with 2 deaths on his name, 1 and 2 for him, and beginning to fall behind while the Storm is in excellent shape. He's level 8.5.
Yeah, and I'm back in, and I think it's way better, so thank you for that. And he's actually gone for 4 points in the Electric Vortex, which is, ooh, regen spotted out too. If he can make his way down here and get that, that is obviously the best rune for Storm. So yeah, he's like, screw the creeps, I want this regen, I can make some plays with it.
He may go on in July if he gets it. It looks like he is.
Yeah, well, he could do that. He also has a TP for top to maybe respond to the Smoke Ink, which is coming up from the supports of LGD.
And DDC is going to be the one they spot. Ice Pass on the money. Lin's there. He might be able. Yeah, he's going to be able to use that. And here comes Demons in as well. There's a silence. Biao wants to re-engage. Lin, in the meantime, did get the hook off, and here comes Inflame. Inflame still has the regen bottled. He's got to decide how he wants to use it. MMY is going to end up down. There's the Doom on Inflame, though, and an Ice Path catches him. Well shot from the Jakiro, and Sylar looking for revenge, gets it. Lin on a killing streak, but now he's locked down. The stomp stolen by not stolen, but consumed by In July is going to end up being a kill on Lin as well. And ends up being a 2-for-1. Not bad for LGD as they fight back with a vengeance. And the Storm came in and he didn't have a lot of mana and he didn't want to use the regen. Wasn't sure it would actually give him everything he wanted and needed out of it, but he ends up dying with it. It's still in his inventory. Now we're going to have demons being dove, and they are diving so deep. Here comes another reaction. Let's see how they want to do this. There's one even coming in at the tier 1. No ultis, and ZYF's right there, gets the pounce, but it hits him MY. He should be able to kill him off with the Shadow Dance. He actually got stunned by the stomp from In July. DDC trying to look for a target. They've got beautiful Searing Chains. They came in and they wanted to try to pay it back, but it's like they didn't have a plan. And they got punished for it severely. Big win for LGD. Here comes the Storm, though. See who can... Nope, not going to get anyone. Just came in trying to go for the deny, burned through most of his mana. And off of that, suddenly Yao and Sylar are tops on the board in terms of overall net worth. Big, big turnaround. And they just misplayed that twice. No doubt about it. Especially the reactions. They're going to try to catch Sylar. I heard a hook. And I didn't see what where Lin shot it. But nonetheless, Storm still playing very aggressive. And he is going to bounce off. He's just using up that regen. As he knows he has some mana to burn right now. But yeah, look at that. It was back to dead even. And now suddenly back down to a 2,000 gold advantage for LGD.
Yeah, I don't know why Inflame didn't pop the regen up top. I thought that was definitely what he was going to do. Ran in there and then didn't really find the initiation as you mentioned, and then just had no mana. And he just chose not to use the regen and got doomed afterwards. So, kind of a blunder if you ask me. And then they couldn't defend the tower in the sense of denying it. So, yeah, LGD looking much better in the early stages of the game. And if we remember last time, Sylar performed admirably on the Morphling. So, he's off to a good start. He's got about 700 gold on top of his power treads and Ring of Aquila, or Keela, however you say it. And yeah, I think he's doing just fine. Ember Spirit not doing too badly either. Definitely needs some more levels though.
Demons caught behind the tower, and this is going to be a very easy tier 1 for them at bottom. I don't know. They got to catch ZYF up, and it's taken them a fair amount of time to do that now. We're actually going to see Demons get caught. Yao's playing very well on the Ember again. No surprise. He's looked good every time we've seen him on the Ember pretty much. That makes it 7-6, and for the first time, LGD has a kill lead. Inflame's got to get it into gear, man. Like, at that debacle at top, just completely derailed what they had going. And yeah, this is only going to get worse and worse and worse. And there's going to be a hook. This is a good way to turn around. They got 2 with the cogs. Faith eating most of that damage. He's going to end up dead almost certainly. MMY trying to heal him up, but the follow-up is so slow. They do get the Jakiro, but Lin's going to end up dead. Not a good trade that time. Here comes the Storm. They need to grab In July. In July does not have the Doom. And Death Ward's going to go down. They can't fight here. They're going to end up dead. And yeah, DDC cleaned up by the Death Ward. In the meantime, ZYF did manage to follow up. Yao chasing down Demons, unable to catch him. It's a 2-for-2 right now. And Inflame and ZYF both hustling to get out. Ends up being the Clock and the Skywrath for the Doom and the Jakiro. That's not a terrible trade, but not great either.
God, that Death Ward did so much damage.
It did.
And retargeted the Skywrath in the middle of that, which was really good. The Skywrath damage from the ultimate actually was a lot more than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be spread out very evenly. But he positioned it in a way to only hit one hero mostly. So really nice job from him. The THC almost lived, actually. It was really, really close to getting away.
And I really like the way that LGD is playing this. They are playing pedal to the metal. They are not just going back to farm. They're taking towers very quickly. And they're not giving Lin and ZYF time to catch up, and Inflame is still short on items. He wants an Orchid, but he's a ways away from it, and they know that. So without those key items, without those core items, they're just abusing the map. Using the power of Liquid Fire, he's got 4 points into it, even has Macro Pyre to help push lanes. And LV is going hunting for a gank here, but they're not going to find it. Sylar's hiding up in the trees. And we'll see if they have the game sense to know that's where he is. We've seen them spot out some really weird spots that proves that they have just played against these players enough to know what their tricks are. But yeah, bottom lane shoved in. They're going to cut across. The Radiant jungle is 4. And perhaps go for a gank on mid. Demons is the target. LV's just hanging out right now. And without a doubt, the tone and pace of the game being set by LGD.
Yeah, definitely. Smart gank reactions by the Morphling. So he actually has a Replicate up, so he's going to be totally safe here unless he gets silenced by the Skywrath. That's really the only boon for him. Like, anything else he can throw his strength up, unless, of course, the Orchids comes out. But as you mentioned, he's way too far behind in the Storm, so as long as he's keeping his position careful enough from the Skywrath specifically, Morphling can't die.
Nice pass.
And they have a mech
Top
on July as
ZYF.
well, so.
Yep. This one already feels like it's getting a bit out of hand. They're pushing tier 2s with no real resistance. And ZYF's going to try to come in. Sylar behind that. Did get silenced. There's a macro power that goes down. In the meantime, Cogs from Lane catch him MY. ZYF has been doomed in the meantime. Demons still dancing around, and we actually see they go 1 for 1, but Lin's so dead it's ridiculous. Just so dead. That's a killing spree for Sylar now. He's got 2,100 gold, and Demons, they may have been able to kill him there. They have not lost a single tower. They have completely dominated this map. Inflame has been a non-factor for a while. And yeah, they're actually going to catch ZYF. Here comes Inflame to try to do something, but ZYF is going to be able to survive. For the moment, he is. They're doing some damage. I don't know that it's enough. Inflame trying to continue jumping, but not going to matter. Yep, they lose 2. They get the Morphling. But Demons is going to end up dead at the back of this, so there's your second one. And the trades are just not favoring them remotely. We can see it's down to about a 7,500 gold lead. The experience very much in favor of LGD as well. And LV's got to find a way to stabilize, man. This is just going way too far in LGD's direction.
Yeah, this reminds me of... Oh, it fails me what team was drafting the Doom the last time, but we saw Doom go for, like, this similar build where it was like a fighting build. Like, remember, it was like phase boot or like Tranquils into drums into mech, and just didn't fight and just farmed instead. But this is a different way to approach Doom, and he's actually fighting with his team constantly, and we're seeing the benefits of it. It's greatly paying off. So kudos to him for actually, you know, doing what the build is telling you to do, so to speak.
Well, let's see how they want to transition now. I was going to say, with the mech up and arc boots, Roshan is definitely an option. They even have an urn. And Lin, very underfarmed. I mean, the top 3 in terms of net worth all belong to LGD. That, yeah, like, hell, the Morphling and the Ember Spirit are right on top of each other. Yao and Sylar. Roche, not dropping super fast, but dropping fast enough. Absolutely no contention. As it's obvious LV knows they can't really directly engage them right now. But with this Aegis, they may just go barrel down bottom lane. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, the fact that you have, like, what, a Doom, Ember, and a Morphling on your team, and you're winning the early game is very scary against a lineup that, like, LV is. Like, they are very early game, like, reliant. Skywrath, Ogre, Clockwork with a good time, Storm Spirit. Yep. Even Slark to that matter, or to, you know, to add to that point, is still not too bad in the early stages of the game. But yeah, like, they're just getting outplayed here by LGD. I like their draft, and I like their draft as it approaches the late game too.
Oh yeah, they have the superior late game without a doubt. Everyone on LV is just lacking core items right now. And they know that. And are they seriously going to go high ground? Yeah, I think they are. Here comes Sylar hooking up with him. Sylar's close to a Lincoln's. Yeah, there's the ice path to follow. Macro Pyre and Lent's caught in. Sylar jumps in. Will secure the kill. He's going to be silenced and could be in some trouble here. He has no problem feeding the Aegis if his team will follow it up. And he'll be back up in just a moment. And yeah, they're going to work on the tier 3s. Clock's down. We already saw the Mystic clear. Now Demons is down easily.
God.
They're just bursting everyone.
They still have
There's
Doom
the tier 3.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And the melee rack's just about to drop as well. Inflame is looking for an angle here. Using that invis rune, and his angle is, I'm not going to fight her, I'm going to die. Or maybe they want to, he wants to try to catch him on their way out. I mean, he's seriously just watching at this point. What can he do? If he jumps on anyone, he's just dead. In July, didn't even have to doom anyone there. Now he's going to try to grab Sylar. Immediately, those starts to more strength. Oh, he doesn't. He can't make it up. Now he does. And the hook is going to be on Yao. And, oh, he actually misses with the cogs because of the adaptive strike. There's going to be a nice cast that catches all 3 heroes. Sylar coming back in. Ice Path off the mark. Dodged out that time, but DDC being chased. And are they going to... Yeah, they can't even fight him. Like, They can't even come close to fighting this team. Are they just going to reset and push mid? Yeah, they are in no mood to take this game any later than it needs to go. Racks are down bottom, and they feel the taste of victory. They still have Doom, as I mentioned. Ninja didn't have to spend it.
Yeah, and with the mech up, with Jakiro, with Liquid Fire, the level 3 heal, actually, from Witch Doctor, he's got a smorgasbord of skill points. Look at that, 2-3-2.
Ice Path follows the casket, and they doom him. In flames down, MMY on a killing streak, Cogs go down, but I don't know that matters. Sylar, like the damage is just so lacking, and Lin and CYF getting blown off the map by the Death Ward. Here comes Inflame off the buyback, but he jumped right into an Ice Path. Can they catch him? It's gonna be close, though. He does make it back to the fountain, but GG. So we had 3 50-minute games in our first 3. And LGD in no mood to repeat that. Hangs a 20-minute win. Or loss, depending on what side you're telling. Hangs an ugly one. On to LV, and just like that, Drought, Game 5 on the docket.
Well, that was a change of pace for sure. That was kind of fun. And like I said, I actually favor LGD's lineup. But I think the Storm Spirit was fine. I think him dying solo is not fine. It's so big. You don't see it too much in this level of play, but just straight up 1v1 kills like that, especially when it's favored. I still think it favors the Storm Spirit. I really did. I think that Storm Spirit can output enough damage when Morphling tries to start out in the lane with the Agi boost. So you have very, very low HP, but you're very susceptible to magic nukes. And with Storm Spirit, you can constantly throw out those overloads. And I didn't see the exchange as he actually got the first blood, but nicely played. I saw the very tail end of it. Nicely played by Sylar.
Nicely played indeed. I don't know there's a whole lot to add to it. Yao played amazing. His Ember Spirit is very, very good. 3-0-12 for him. 5-3 on Sylar. Gave up a few deaths here and there, but for the most part, took a hero that usually takes a long time to come online, and just with the strength of this draft, managed to run LV over. And what's the common denominator here? Well, what is it? What does every hero on the side of LGD have in common? Ember Spirit, tanky because of